We know where Christine is.
You know what Christine is?
Yes.
Oh, you guys found her?
Yes.
Well, you want to hold the baby?
Christine's dead.
No, go with it. What happened to her? What happened to her? Go with it.
We're investigating her, so I'll let you know this. It's a homicide.
Jose Morales and Christine Holloway had only been together about a year and a half when their beautiful daughter Vanessa was born in early September of 2018. They were both excited about starting a family and finally settling down. But by then, Jose had a lengthy rap sheet that included charges for domestic violence, violating protective orders, and carrying a firearm without a permit. According to arrest reports, he also sold and used narcotics. Jose's drug of choice was PCP, or angel dust as it's commonly called on the streets. Smoking PCP causes confusion and paranoia, and Jose often became violent as well. Before continuing on, we would like to express our sincere condolences to the victims' families. By the fall of 2019, 43-year-old Christine grudgingly admitted that 48-year-old Jose wasn't the person she thought he was, and that their relationship was pretty much unsalvageable. After another long argument about the state of their relationship, she sent him the following text at 10:55 on the night of Saturday, November the 23rd. "I see how you feel about me." Shortly thereafter, he sent these messages. "F*** you," and "This stupid relationship is done." At the time, Christine and Vanessa lived in a detached apartment on Myrtle Avenue in Ansonia, Connecticut, about 45 miles or 72 kilometers south of Hartford. Jose usually stayed with them during the week, but he often stayed with his mom and his friends on the weekends. Despite the growing friction between them, Jose, Christine, and Vanessa still spent a lot of time together. A week after sending the aforementioned text, they spent a wonderful Thanksgiving day with Jose and Christine's families, eating, talking, and watching football. Jose didn't stay with Christine and Vanessa that weekend, but he showed up at the apartment early in the afternoon of Sunday, December the 1st, 2019. We'll never know what happened over the next few hours because Jose, Christine, and Vanessa were the only ones there. But somewhere along the line, things took a tragic turn. Jose called 911 at 1:52 p.m. He told the operator that he was high on PCP and that he saw two men running toward the apartment door when he looked out the window a few minutes before. For some reason, he hung up quickly when Christine walked by and asked him who he was talking to. Later, he said he was just about to call 911 again when someone punched him in the face and knocked him out. The operator dispatched an officer to the neighborhood, but he did not find anything out of the ordinary. By then, her brother Steve and his girlfriend Jody were also getting worried. Christine's car was there, but nobody came to the door when Jody stopped by her apartment that afternoon. When multiple calls and texts went unanswered, she and Steve called the Ansonia Police Department and reported her missing. The police dispatched an officer to the apartment to perform a routine welfare check shortly thereafter. The officer knocked on the door and identified himself multiple times. He even pressed his ear to the door to see if he could hear anything or detect any movement inside. However, he left a few minutes later because there was no indication that anyone was there or anything was amiss. When authorities tracked Jose down at his mother's house, he said he had no idea where Christine or Vanessa were. By that evening, Christine's family was worried sick because nobody had seen her or Vanessa since the previous day. Now, with a potential missing persons case on their hands, officers performed a second welfare check at approximately 8:15 p.m. This time, Lieutenant Alex Barita and Officer Brendan Nelson forced their way into the apartment. The living room ceiling fan was spinning on high, and in the bedroom the crib was empty and the sheets were missing. Seconds later, Officer Nelson shouted, "Holy shit!" when he entered the bathroom and found Christine's lifeless body in the tub along with leaves, organs, and what appeared to be skull fragments. Detectives and forensic technicians arrived shortly thereafter and began processing the crime scene. Meanwhile, a neighbor told the officers that she saw Jose leaving the apartment earlier that day. This was a big red flag because at his mother's house that afternoon, he claimed he was not at the apartment all weekend. A search of the apartment turned up blood-stained towels and a bloody bath mat in the washing machine.
We know where Christine is.
You know what Christine is?
Yes.
Oh, you guys found her?
Yes.
What about the baby?
Christine's dead.
No, 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 no. ¿Cómo va a ser? What happened to her? What happened to her? ¿Cómo va a ser? ¿Cómo va a ser? No, no, no.
We're looking for
Christina's dead.
your son
Tell me that.
to shine a light on our situation that we're working with right now. We're investigating, so I'll let you know this. It's a homicide.
Oh my God.
We are looking for all the help we can get.
Where you found her? Where you found her?
She's at her apartment.
In her apartment? Oh my God. Oh my God.
So we can't find the car that he says she's always driving. But we know where the car is that you say that she's driving.
The new one?
Yeah. What's up?
Oh my God.
When I asked you about her buying a new car, you said you knew nothing about
No,
it.
I know about it.
Well, why did you say you didn't know anything
I
about
know about it.
No first time buyers.
What? She bought a car. She bought a car. Because
No, Jose, where you was today?
Jose, we also just took your car.
the car is gone.
Yep.
I don't know. What you want me to come up with an idea, make something up?
What happened to
What you want me
Christine?
to think?
What happened
What
to
you want me to
Christine?
say? To just invent a situation? I don't know.
What were you
You
doing
guys
that?
have to break the door in there to get in? You broke the door to get in?
Why don't you tell us the story if you want to say something to your mother?
I don't know how you got.
Was in her house all day?
I don't know.
What you mean you don't know? She wasn't there. Where you was there?
I was at Hector.
When?
How does he not know where he was yesterday? It's not even 24 hours later. How does he not know that?
I say I was at my boy's Hector.
No, you weren't, because you were leaving the house at 1:49.
We have him on video leaving the house, and we also have a
On
witness saying
video?
he was there.
Today?
On video.
Monday.
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 2 days, Tuesday.
Yeah,
So-
I was trying to tell you I can invent a scenario.
What happened to
You want me to
Christine?
invent something? You want me to come up with ideas and then give you information that I don't know? That's what you want. That's what you guys ask.
No. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can.
There is nothing that I can tell you. I don't know.
You say you have to
What
do something.
information
have
you
to
want?
do something.
Obviously, something did happen.
Were they in a serious relationship?
Huh?
Were they in a serious relationship?
Yeah.
Well, he said it was.
Oh, we was in a serious relationship.
So he's gonna say you were.
I was
with
at
him
his house. I was at
on
with him.
Monday.
I was with him.
On Monday.
The weekend.
No, Monday.
Well, you just said you were with Hector on Monday. You said I don't
I was-
remember what I was
listen,
doing on Monday.
I was
And
with
oh, now
Hector
I'm
on
with
the
Hector.
weekend. The weekend.
What about Monday? They asking about Monday.
Listen, you don't have to answer. You can do whatever you want. You can leave.
I'm not a clear-minded person.
Okay, I can understand that. You have a lot of stress in your life.
Yeah, I have no job.
Okay, so
I'm broke.
You
I
got-
live with my parents and
and
my
you
kids.
and you got 3 kids and you're trying to support the 3 kids.
I can't.
Yeah, it's not easy. That is not easy. Yeah, and you should be the one supporting your parents, but you can't right now because that's how hard it is. And you just lost your job a few months ago. I understand all that. You know that puts people in the wrong mindset.
No,
Right.
it's not.
No, that's,
He does. Yeah, he does. He put people in the butt.
sometimes you don't think clearly about things,
Exactly.
right? And
No, I FaceTime you from Hector house, make you believe that I was with her. Did you see her? Did you see anything in the background? You saw my face on FaceTime. I was making you believe that I was at Christine, but because I didn't want you to think that I'm out with my friend partying.
so what were you FaceTiming with? What phone were you FaceTiming with?
With Hector's.
Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
All right, so then you should have Hector's
No.
contact. You should have Hector's contact for
No.
that.
I was FaceTiming with the.
Whoops.
Christine.
That iPad.
Yeah, I say it. No, yeah.
It's downstairs. But how was he? So he was FaceTiming from the house here?
No, porque he take it when he go Christina.
But that's not Hector's number.
No. Not Hector. I was FaceTiming my mom.
With Hector's phone, you said?
No, not with his phone. With my iPad.
During a second round of questioning at Jose's mother's house that night, he denied having anything to do with Christine's death and said he did not know where Vanessa was. Jose admitted to smoking PCP and being in the apartment when Christine was killed. However, he said he was in a drug-induced stupor when he was startled by screams and sounds of a struggle. He also claimed that 2 male intruders were in the apartment and that one of them was viciously attacking Christine with a crowbar. Jose claimed that Christine was already dead when the man began attacking him. He said that he was too high to remember what either man looked like and that they told him they were taking Vanessa and that they would kill her if he went to the police. Investigators were understandably suspicious with Jose's story, and the bruises and scratches and abrasions on his neck, hands, and arms definitely were not consistent with a crowbar attack. Instead, they looked like they had been inflicted by someone defending themselves from an attacker. Either way, finding Vanessa was more pressing than solving Christine's murder. Authorities immediately issued an Amber Alert. And meanwhile, Jose was being interrogated at the police station.
All right. Jose, what's your last name? Morales?
Yeah.
Even though the door is kind of closed, I mean, you're free to leave. We brought you here to talk to you. I understand you're...
I'm free to leave. Where am I going to walk all the way home?
No, we'll give you a ride. I'm just saying you're not held captive here. I'm not like... You're
So
not
why what I came here for?
to talk to you.
About what?
We're trying to find Christine and your kid.
All right, that's exactly what I've been trying to call her too.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So
We're in the same page.
okay, good. I'd rather have it that way. When's the last time you talked to her?
I talked to her, I think it was Monday morning when she was going to work.
So that was yesterday morning, Monday. About what time?
Early in the morning.
Okay. So that was talking on the phone or in person? Face to
the phone.
On the phone. Did she say anything? Was there a problem? Was there any kind of issue? No argue?
No,
Did you hear anything in the background?
I didn't hear nothing.
She didn't sound like she was having any problems? Did she sound different than your normal conversations?
Well, it was super fast. It's like she couldn't be on the phone. That kind of got me like she didn't want to stay on the phone. Like I called her, she didn't want to stay on the phone at all.
But just giving you short answers and trying
Like
to...
quick, I probably spoke to her for less than a minute, probably. Quick.
And that's not normal?
That's not normal. Well, it is and it isn't, because sometimes we speak for a while, sometimes it was early in the morning, so.
Okay. Did you stay over there this weekend?
No.
You didn't stay over there this weekend?
No.
Do you normally stay over there during the weekend?
Sometimes I do, yeah. Not normally, but sometimes I stay over.
All right. So when's the last time you saw her in person?
Friday,
And where was that?
at my house.
At
Over
your
there
house?
where you picked me up, yeah.
She was there?
Yeah.
Okay, with Vanessa?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you left, so it was Friday, you were with her
Yes.
and Vanessa.
She came over to our house.
She came to visit you,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she drove?
Yeah.
Was-
No, wait. Thanksgiving Eve,
That's Thursday.
Thursday,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Eve,
Yep.
she came over and she slept over my house. Her and Vanessa.
She slept over, okay.
Wednesday. Wait up, let me get that right. Wednesday, after work, Wednesday she got out of work around 3. She had an early day.
So Wednesday, out at 3.
Yeah, so I said to her, pack a lot of stuff and
Yep.
come over, because my mom said they can stay over
Yep.
for Thanksgiving holiday, whatever.
Okay.
So to spend Thanksgiving. So she came over with Vanessa from work, directly from work. She packed the car. She came over with Vanessa directly from work. And she slept over.
So Wednesday night she slept over.
Yeah.
So Thursday she hangs
slept
out.
over too.
She hangs out with you guys Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then when does she leave?
Friday.
So she slept over again.
She slept over until Friday. Not from Friday to Saturday.
Right.
From
She slept
Thursday
over.
to Friday.
So Wednesday to Thursday, Thursday to Friday.
Exactly.
And then when did she leave on Friday?
Probably around, I'm not sure. Somewhere in the afternoon, around 6, I think.
So at night, evening, like around dinner time?
Yeah.
All right. Did she leave by herself?
Yeah. With Vanessa.
With Vanessa.
Yeah.
And you're assuming she went home.
Exactly. I assume it, yeah. What else could she do?
I have no idea. I don't know where she goes.
All
Where
right,
she
yeah.
goes.
Does she have any friends that she hangs out with?
Not that well, we are boyfriend, girlfriend.
You guys are.
Yeah, but we're not that close either. Because she got her own place, she do her own life, she got her own apartment. When she got this apartment over here, she asked me if I can help her out, like, with the lease, because I guess the landlord over here, they want to give it to her by herself. So she said, could you help? Because I had a good job at the time. That's what happened. I had a good job at the time. He said, can you help us and with the lease? And I said, okay. I signed the paper. She gave me some paper. I signed. I said, okay. So she got an apartment. Because she was leaving. She used to live with her brother Steven and Shelton. That's where she lived for like 3 years. She was living there when we met. Before that, she lived in Bridgeport. Then, when she got pregnant, we was dating when she was living with Steven over there. But Steven and them were being to her, whatever. Right before the baby was about to be born, Steven said, you gotta leave. He kicked her out. I don't want to hear babies crying in my house, this and that. Because she was a roommate type of thing, she'd give her half. But now Steven had a new girlfriend. The reason she moved in with Steven was because she was helping him pay the rent. But then he got a girlfriend that was helping him, so now she became a third wheel. So then the baby, so she said, you gotta move out. So she started looking for an apartment. I said, look for an apartment. She started looking for an apartment, so she found this apartment in somewhere around here in Shelton. No, not in Shelton, in Shelton.
Where is it the same apartment she's in, right?
Yeah, that's where she found that apartment. So, that's it, yeah.
So make sure I got this right. She left your house or your parents' house on Friday.
Yeah.
With Vanessa.
Yeah.
And you didn't go with her?
No.
So where did you stay over the weekend?
I stayed with my friend Hector.
Hector.
He lives in East Haven.
You stayed. What's Hector's last name?
I don't know.
No last name. You know where he lives in East Haven? Does he know you're Christine? Or he has no idea?
Doesn't know Christine.
So he has no idea who Christine is.
No. He knows I got a girlfriend, that's it.
Christine, your only girlfriend? Or you have other girlfriends? Does she have other boyfriends?
We're not that close.
Right.
It's like, we have a baby.
Yep.
Well, it's not like she my girlfriend. We say that, we use that word very lightly.
Yeah.
But we have a baby together. That it happened. So I guess I'm assuming a little bit of responsibility by helping her out a little bit.
Yep.
So, yeah, no. So we in love with the baby. So we let her come over and stay over our house and holidays and things like that for see the baby.
So you do all that for Vanessa? You don't
Yeah,
look
it's for
it's not for Christine.
It's not for Christine. It's for Vanessa. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So your family likes
We love
Vanessa's?
Vanessa. Yeah, we really don't like Christine. She said she okay, but it's all right. That's it. You love Vanessa.
I mean, do you have any idea where she could be?
No.
Zero.
So,
No idea where a 1-year-old would be.
Vanessa?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, Christine is an adult, so I mean, I'm more concerned
Well,
about her.
Christine is with Vanessa. I figured.
Okay. I'm saying an adult's an adult. They can come and go and do whatever they want. But
Yeah.
a 1-year-old's at the mercy of whoever's with them.
Yeah. But they left together.
What do you mean they left together?
Well, Christine took Vanessa with her on Friday.
On Friday?
Yeah.
So were you at the house at all this weekend? Her house, Christine's.
Not the whole weekend.
You didn't go there to pick anything up, drop anything off?
On.
Listen.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen what?
Your dad said you went to Christine's Friday with her. Why would he tell me that?
He said that I went to Christine's Friday. That's why he thought I was.
Why would you? You said you told him where you went, and if you told him you went to Hector's,
She
he
got
wouldn't
her
tell
own.
me.
She got her own car.
Right, but why would he tell me that you went to Christine's if you told him where you went?
Why would he tell? He probably assumed.
No, you said you told him where you went.
I told who, my father?
Yeah, you just told me. You said you told him where you went.
I told my father where I went.
Yeah, that's what you told me, and that's why I said, why did he tell me you went to Christine's if you didn't?
I told my father that I went to Christine.
That's what you just told me about 30 seconds ago.
I'm not sure. You're missing my words. You wrote that down?
So you said that you told your father where you went, and you're telling us you went to Hector's, right?
Yeah,
That's what you
that's
told
what
us.
I went to
Yeah.
Hector's.
Yeah. So you.
I didn't.
told,
Wait. I didn't tell my father when I went to Hector.
Yeah.
That's where I went.
And when Detective Atkins asked you if you told your father where you went, you said yes. There's a.
Well, it's
positive.
a whole mixed understanding right there.
All right. So how did Christine get to your house on Wednesday?
She drove
Okay. In what kind of car?
in her car. I'm not sure.
You don't know what kind of car she has?
Mazda Protege.
I'm not sure. What color is it?
Gold light.
Did you buy a new car? It's not a trick question. Just asking, do you know if she bought a new car?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, how does your dad know
He knows what.
that she bought a new car?
Well, I guess she
Your
bought
dad
a-
knows a lot of stuff.
I guess she bought a new car.
But did you know she bought a new car?
I think she did. Yeah, I think she bought a new car.
All right.
I know. Since I know her, she had the same car. I think she bought a new car.
So how did you get to Heckers?
In my car.
What car is that?
A Nissan
Nissan what?
Sentra.
Is it registered to you?
Mm-hmm.
So you drove to Hector's.
And that's it. And I hung out with her.
So how are you going to help us find Vanessa? I mean, that's what you're here for, to help us find Vanessa. We want to find a 1-year-old, and we need your
I
help.
want to find her too.
Well, we need your help. That's the only reason we brought you here.
Did you call the police when Steve came to your house and said Vanessa and what do you call her?
Steve called her. Steve called the police right there.
Okay.
He was right there. He was
So he's the
behind-
uncle though, right?
He's the uncle. He's the one that kicked Christine out.
Are you 100% sure that Vanessa is your kid?
didn't have no DNA test, but I assume so, yeah.
What was that?
I didn't have a DNA test, but I assume she's my kid, yeah.
Okay. I mean, because if someone came to my house and said, Vanessa's missing, and it's my 1-year-old daughter.
I'm worried. That's why I keep trying to call my kids.
Jose, the whole ride here, you talked about everything but her. The whole ride here, you didn't talk about a 1-year-old daughter that's missing. I don't get that.
That's my daughter.
Yeah, we want to find her.
Right.
And the only reason you're here
is to find her.
Is to help us find her.
All right, so let's find her.
So where is she?
I don't know. She's
with
no idea.
I feel like you don't want to give us any information. Your father's given us more information that you're willing. And
she's with Christine.
You would know every single piece of information that your father would know.
She's with Christine. That's all I know.
Christine's a big girl. I'm not worried about Christine. I'm worried about a 1-year-old that has no control over her life. 0. That's who I want to find.
All right.
Not 40-year-old Christine or however old she is. I'm here to find your daughter.
Okay, let's find her.
And like I said, I find it absolutely bizarre that the whole ride here.
So what do you think? That I have my daughter hidden somewhere?
I don't know. I'm asking you for help to find her. I don't know. You have no idea where she could be, nor did you even really talk about it on the whole ride.
So let's talk about her then.
Do you have your daughter?
Do you know where your daughter is?
No, I don't know. My daughter is with Christine.
You were at the house Monday, leaving. Where's your daughter?
All right, boss.
Yes.
No, we can go.
We can go. Are you going to bring us? I told him the reason he's here is because somebody saw him leaving the house Monday.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on. You are going, but is he bringing us somewhere?
I don't know. Where do you want to bring us?
No, you guys taking me home.
Yeah, we're taking you home, but we're taking your clothes first.
Why? You're gonna strip me naked?
No, but we're gonna give you a tie-back suit to wear home.
Huh? You're gonna give me what?
A tie-back suit to wear home.
A tie back?
A tie-back suit.
What's that?
I'll show you in a second when he brings it in here.
Jose told investigators that he spent much of the morning locked in the bathroom because he couldn't bring himself to face the horrific scene in the apartment. However, he admitted to driving to a nearby Shell station to buy cigars on more than one occasion. Interestingly, the footage from the gas station's security camera showed that he did not seem the least bit emotional or distraught. At one point, he even said that he and Christine were just acquaintances. Of course, this made absolutely no sense because everyone knew they had been a couple for 3 years and they had a daughter together. Later, Christine's landlord told investigators that he and his mother heard loud noises coming from the apartment early in the morning of Monday, December the 2nd. According to them, it sounded like someone was banging on the wall and dragging heavy furniture across the floor. Investigators got another big break when footage from a neighbor's security camera showed Jose leaving the apartment about 30 minutes after the welfare check. That meant he was inside when the officers knocked on the door. A few days later, a local charity director told the police about blood-stained toys her employees collected from a donation bin near the parking lot of St. Michael's Church in Derby, Connecticut, just a couple of miles away. By then, nearly everyone in the state knew about Christine's murder and Vanessa's disappearance. As such, the woman thought the items may have come from Christine's apartment. At the facility, investigators also found a trash bag full of bloody rags, mail addressed to Christine, and a pink child's crock for the left foot. Later, another search of Christine's apartment turned up the matching pink crock. DNA tests confirmed that the blood was Christine's, and later investigators secured additional camera footage of him stuffing the items into a donation bin on December the 2nd. Unsurprisingly, the medical examiner ruled that Christine's death was blunt force trauma to the head and torso, and that the manner of death was homicide. Jose Morales was arrested on Friday, February the 7th, 2020, and charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence to cover up a crime. Jose remained in custody on a $7.5 million bond. Even so, rumors of a possible deal eventually surfaced despite the severity of the charges and the state's seemingly airtight case. It goes without saying that a murder victim's families don't usually support plea deals, but Jose's case was unique because Vanessa was still missing. Even her most positive family members doubted whether she was still alive. However, they pushed for the deal because they thought it might compel Jose to disclose what he knew about her disappearance. At the very least, they hoped they would be able to recover a body and give her a proper burial. But unfortunately, the deal fell through because the two sides could not agree on terms. When his trial finally began in State Superior Court in Milford, Connecticut, on Monday, April the 7th, 2025, Jose had already been in custody for more than 5 years. During opening statements, the prosecution told the jury that Jose smoked PCP that weekend, that he bludgeoned Christine to death on that fateful morning, and that he spent the next 36 hours cleaning the apartment and disposing of evidence. Shortly into the trial, the prosecution also showed the jury a number of graphic photographs taken at the scene. Afterward, the prosecution called a number of law enforcement officers.
Do you know what time it was when you arrived, at 105 First Street?
It was sometime after 3, maybe 3:45 in the morning.
So 3:45 a.m.
A.m.
And when you arrived at the scene, were you by yourself or were you with other people?
There was already some detective already on scene there, and I went with Detective Adcox when we also had some New Haven officers that were also on scene with us.
Did you make contact with individuals in the house?
Yes, we did.
And did there come a point in time where you were able to engage with Jose Morales?
Yes.
And the person that you engaged with that evening, do you see him sitting here in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Now, with regard to, by that point in time, were you aware of the death of Christine Holloway?
Yes.
Did you tell Mr. Morales at that time that you were aware of the death of Christine Holloway?
No.
At the time, did you ask Mr. Morales to voluntarily accompany you back to the Ansonia Police Department?
Yes, we did.
And did he agree to go back to the Ansonia Police Department to talk with you?
Yes.
And how did there come a point in time that you left 105 First Avenue with Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Right. So at that time, during this trip, did Mr. Morales at any time bring up Vanessa or Christine Holloway?
He brought it up very minimally. We didn't talk about it that much.
Do you remember any of the other substantive conversations that Mr. Morales brought up in this trip to the Ansonia Police Department?
We talked about the car that we was driving in, talked about our cell phones, talked about my rank, some other stuff.
I'm sorry. So who brought up the issue of the cell phone?
I don't remember.
Okay. Who brought up the discussion about the car that you were driving in?
I think he referred to us as it was a nice car that we were in, and he asked us if it was our personal vehicle.
When I walked into the bathroom, I noticed in the tub a pale, naked female body laying in there. Next to her was what appeared to be a human internal organ, now laying outside her body next to her in the tub. Her hands were also covered with what appeared to be dry blood.
Next, a doctor testified about how PCP affects the brain.
So PCP affects the auditory ability, essentially like I was describing before. It causes hallucinations, meaning hearing things that aren't real, that aren't actually present in that moment. So that is an example of a break with reality. Reality is what's happening in front of you.
Putting Jose on the stand was a huge gamble for the defense, but with so much physical and circumstantial evidence against him, it was a chance they had to take.
I just want to orient your time, okay?
Okay.
After you had gone to the Shell gas station and the donation pins, you told us you went back to 6.5 Myrtle.
I did.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen in the jury what you did at 6.5 Myrtle after that.
I went inside the apartment and I locked myself in the bathroom.
Why?
I just couldn't bear to see what was in the hallway.
Okay. What was in the hallway?
Christine.
Okay. And what did you do next?
I smoked the Black and Mild that I had purchased from the gas station in the bathroom.
Okay. And did you use PCP at that time?
No.
Your Honor, bleeding.
Sustained.
Okay. You were in the bathroom, okay, and what happened next?
I smoked the. I was scared to leave the bathroom.
Objections not responsive.
Well, I'll overrule it. You can.
Tell us in your own. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Sorry, you can go ahead.
You can answer.
So I stood in the bathroom. I smoked the Black and Mild. The Black and Mild had a really bad odor to it, so I lit one of the candles that was in the bathroom and I cracked the skylight window to get the smoke out of there. And I was just there for like 2 hours.
Okay.
I didn't want nobody to see her like that. So I left the bathroom. I gathered myself up. I left the bathroom, went into the hallway, and I grabbed Christine. And before I left the bathroom, the idea was to bring Christine and put her in the tub. I grabbed the curtain. I flipped it over, the pole. I went into the hallway. I gently grabbed Christine and I placed it in the tub.
Okay.
Once I did that, I closed the bathroom door, and now I'm inside the apartment, and I see the blood all over the hallway floor and by the door entrance. And I went and I grabbed the bucket from under the sink with towels, and I filled it up halfway, almost more than halfway. And I started cleaning because when I was walking around, I have left footprints from the blood in the carpet. So I started just cleaning the blood that was on the tiles, and I cleaned it up with the bucket, and I was dumping the water from the bucket into the garbage disposal. Well, I wanted to dress her. So when I first put her in the tub, there was items of clothing that was still under her when I carried her to the tub. So I wanted to dress her, so I pushed her forward a little bit, and I took them items of dressing from the back of her. I took them out and put them on the floor of the bathroom. And then she had a pajama pant on and a tank top. There was no underclothes. So I took because they were all bloody. And I felt sad, and I wanted to put different clothes on her. I took the pajama pants off. I had a little problem taking the tank top, so it was like this, and I was able to take it out. And then I took that clothes and I put it in the washing machine.
Okay.
All told, the prosecution presented nearly 200 pieces of evidence during the 2-week trial. During closing arguments, defense attorney Edward Gavin told the jury that they could not convict Jose on first-degree murder because he was under the influence of PCP at the time of the death and therefore could not have formed intent. But as the prosecution subsequently pointed out, being under the influence does not necessarily mean that intent can't be present. Before wrapping up, the prosecutor also told the jury that Jose's version of events wasn't credible and that they should rely on their common sense when determining his guilt or innocence. Then, on the afternoon of Monday, April the 21st, 2025, the judge released the 12 jurors to begin their deliberations. By then, it was late in the afternoon, and the judge sent them home for the night just 20 minutes later. They returned early the following morning, and in less than 2 hours, they informed the bailiff they had reached a unanimous decision.
Mr. Foreperson, in the case of State of Connecticut v. Jose Morales, docket number AAN, CR 20-018-6660T, has the jury unanimously agreed upon a verdict?
Yes.
In docket number AAN, CR 20-018-6660T, in the first count of the amended information charging the defendant Jose Morales with crime of murder in violation of section 53A-54A of the Connecticut General Statutes, how do you find the defendant as to the crime of murder?
Guilty.
Jose closed his eyes and hung his head when the verdict was read, but Christine's family let out a collective sigh of relief. Christine's brother Steve shouted, "Where's Vanessa?" as Jose was led away with his hands chained behind his back. Shortly after the trial ended, Christine's sister-in-law Jody made the following Facebook post. "Found guilty. God is good. Chrissy, we fought for justice for you and we won. We love you and Vanessa so very much, and we will not stop fighting for Vanessa." Jose won't find out how long he'll spend in prison until the sentencing hearing that is currently scheduled for early July. Whatever the case, he's facing nearly 7 decades behind bars. Sadly, Vanessa has never been found, and Jose remains tight-lipped about her disappearance. The FBI is still offering a $10,000 reward for any tip that leads to Vanessa's discovery. And recently, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children published an age-progressed photo showing what she might look like at 6 years old.